Amadeus,
hello. It's wonderful to meet you.
Yes, it's wonderful for
Hello,
us.
guys. Well,
It's
what
a wonderful
journey.
place.
Hello.
It's a wonderful place here.
It's a fantastic, we're terribly lucky. Yes, please just come in. I'll show you my workroom also in case you want to go.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
So we're doing a tour, Vicky.
Right, okay, David.
I came from a bookless household. I was the son of an entrepreneur who was also a criminal who went to prison several times. He was imprisoned here in England. He was imprisoned in Jakarta, in Indonesia, and in Switzerland. And my mother disappeared from my life when I was 5 years old. And I think Graham Greene once said that a childhood is the credit balance of a writer. And my childhood was so unexpected and exotic that I think that made me a millionaire. I was in boarding schools from the age of 5 when my mother departed. And by the age of 16, I ran away from England. I became a kind of political refugee and refused to return to my English education. I then went to a university in Bern in Switzerland. And then I returned to England. I did my national service and I went into the army. Afterwards, I went to Oxford. And during those early years, because the Cold War was really getting into its stride, I made my first association with the secret world. Now that's a long reply to the question, how did I come to write? I think I wrote because I was deprived of expression in childhood. I was deprived of love in childhood. I entered into a world of fantasy and I relied to a great extent on my own company and my own imagination. And that was a wonderful stimulus to invention, to creation. It wasn't until I went into the secret world at the age of 25, 26, as a young officer of intelligence in those days, that I shared a room with a writer who was also a spy like myself. And his name was John Bingham. He was also the Lord Clanmorris. And John wrote in the lunch hours and wrote in the morning. And often when his telephone wasn't ringing, he would write away at his desk. We shared a room. And that somehow said to me that I could do it. And that's how it began.
And then spying became the center of your works. And is it a metaphor for modern life?
By the time I entered the secret world, foreign services, diplomacy, and those things were really like cover organizations for a huge industry of espionage and counter-espionage. It was the battlefield of the Cold War. So I was incredibly lucky to be, as a very, very small worm, to have a worm's eye view of that kind of secret conflict that was running at that time. And yes, of course, it's a metaphor for everything in life. It's about ordinary people, but more so. It's about every one of us, about the relationship we have to our countries. It's about self-identity. It's about our insecurities, that we are, in some ways, the weaker we are, the less we are anchored, the less we are identified to ourselves, the more exciting is the condition of secrecy. And so I never thought there was a limit to the spy story. I thought, for me, yes, it was a metaphor. It was the stage on which I could set any drama.